some of us are blasted into families that where there's no sort of, at least in our direct experience with our parents, there's no experience with either like somebody starting their own business or being an artist. So some of us got born to parents who always had a boss, and some of us got born to parents who just weren't musicians. They weren't artists. Nothing wrong with that, by the way, but who just weren't what you would consider like traditionally creative people. Some of us got born into families of parents who are actually suspicious of art or suspicious of actors or suspicious of creators. And so you can get in your fucking head that because there isn't anyone in your family who did this or that, that you probably can't do it, which is like the genetic myth of creating stuff. And here's why that's a crazy idea, because at some point, every single artist or creator or business person, regardless of who came before them, just started making stuff. And that turned into something. So maybe that could be you. If you're someone who's got that weird block in your head where you sort of look back and you're like, shit, man. I mean, there's like maybe like my great uncle did some like charcoal drawings or something, but that's just not me. But you still have that weird sense inside of you, like I want to make stuff, because that's what I was sort of blasted into. There were writers, like some people who like write in my family, and some people who paint, but direct parents, it was not. They just didn't understand what it was, or what doing like creative stuff was. They liked it though. They weren't like negging it or anything like that. It's just they didn't understand. So if you get blasted into that kind of zone, then you can't expect people to necessarily like support you in a real technical way, because they don't understand about the learning curve. They don't understand about the like incredible, slow, embarrassing process of making stuff. And so they don't know to tell you, oh yeah, when you start making stuff, it's gonna suck probably, and that's good. Like it's would be a complete anomalous event if suddenly, as a kid or an adult, you started making shit that was really good. It's not gonna happen. Like you're gonna make stuff that's embarrassingly bad, and then on top of that, you're gonna want to like share it because you're excited, because you realize like, oh my God, I can make stuff. And then if you share it with someone who doesn't understand that the precursor to getting good at anything is to be really bad at it, then you can get like shamed, art shamed, even if they have great intent, you can still see on their face this sense of like, no, this really isn't for you. You're not a natural, which is like the myth of the natural. Oh my God. I don't know. I can't even imagine how many people that is just stop dead in their tracks for their whole lives when it comes to making stuff. So anyway, that's it. It just popped into my head. As somebody who like just never got like that kind of data from my parents, and I didn't have the internet, so I couldn't go on the internet and like figure out that like, oh yeah, you can just make stuff with the stuff, with whatever's around you. You can just make stuff and it's fun. P.S. If you're not like inclined to like make shit or make art, that's fine too. It's nothing. That's absolutely great. But if you're like me and you always have had this like weird sense of wanting to create stuff, but then also this like feeling of like pretty low self-esteem or like insecurity, or just like a general feeling of never like being like the kids that you would run into in school in the art classes who could like sketch or make beautiful shit. And so you just thought like, well, that's just not my thing. Then just consider that, why you think that. And it's fun to really consider it, because the reality is like that's the cool thing about existing in matter, is you get to make stuff, and that's lots of fun to just play around with the absolute incredible potency of just making stuff. Like imagine that. It's crazy. Like if like we, just a circle in dirt for that to naturally just manifest in the material universe like a nice circle with little designs in it, that would take all kinds of great coincidence and luck and years of who knows what, some kind of weird erosion or fungal appearance in the soil, you know? But a human can like do that instantly. Like we're nature that can instantly create all these patterns to form into matter, which regardless of whether or not these patterns have some refined quality to them or have been developed to the point where they're going to hang in a museum and people are going to ogle them, or whether it's just like you outside with a stick drawing shit in the sand, it's pretty spectacular. I mean, I don't know if you've seen the videos out there of like this thing monkeys are doing, where like for the monkeys are doing this weird thing where like when they see a tree, they like gather rocks around it. Look it up. It's really cool. They think it like is an example of, you know, culture originating in monkeys. I can't remember which type of monkey, so I'm probably fucking it up. But, you know, because there's monkeys and there's differences in monkeys. I just think of them all as monkeys. I'm sorry. Anyway, that you know, that's startling to anthropologists or biologists. It's like, whoa, look at that. That's crazy. Just that alone, throwing like rocks at a tree is pretty shocking when you're looking at monkeys doing it. Similarly, if you're somebody who like hasn't really played around with making stuff or really gotten into it or really experimented with it, it's shocking for you to start doing that. It's cool. And, you know, just for the experience of like, whoa, I'm making a thing again. And also I think you're kind of lucky if you end up being in the camp of people who have this sense of like, that's not me. I don't do that. That's not my thing. I think you're kind of lucky because if that's who you are, then you have this like awesome sense of kind of being oppressed, which isn't real, but it's fun to like become the art martyr and feel that you're like fighting against some oppressor that doesn't want you to make stuff. It's probably not true, but it's a great way to get stuff going. All right, that's it. Just a little thought about making stuff. I'll see you guys. Bye.